Okay, come on. Is it gonna come on? Hello? Hello? It says I am live. Hello, everybody. It says I am live. I have to mute that. Hello, everybody. Okay, muting it. It says I am live. Mute! Muted! Okay, this is hilarious. This is great. Hello, everybody. All right, I'm gonna have to turn these off so I'm not looking at everything. Trying to get this to work. And let me see here. Hello. We're gonna edit this all out, I am sure. So, let me get this squared away. As I have been saying, this is very exciting for me to figure out how to run this YouTube channel. Okay, I pretty much semi-retired, went on sabbatical from my high school in Tampa, Florida, and part of it was because of the tech. I just don't want to make a bunch of videos. I would rather talk to people. And so this is about me being able to talk to people and practice teaching, even though I'm not really in my classroom anymore. So this is the MAGA exit countdown. Here's my cute little card here. And I realized that we have 18 weeks until voting day, which is pretty much like a whole school year. In fact, it is 180 days. Could be. Anyway, off the train of thought here. I have a training program that can help people figure out what to do about their political affiliation. So this particular episode is called Following the Money. And yes, I've made big graphic notes for myself, as well as being able to then share the information with everybody, because it is a program that I want people to be able to pick up these tools and go use them in your own community, in your own neighborhood, with your own friends and family, because, we have a incredible political division, a great divide between the two sides, a lot of finger pointing. So I took a trip and ended up at the Nobel Peace Institute and picked up their little guidebook. And yes, I love little books. I write little books. This is the political one. And I'm trying to find the simplest training materials for someone who is struggling, whether that's academically in a classroom, but out in the real world, because you still have to be using those skills. They're communication skills, it's critical thinking skills, and money management kinds of skills. So entrepreneurship type skills. So those are the things that I know how to do. And I also love political commentary. I've traveled around the world. I've studied and taught world history, and really came to a real epic kind of decision that I had to do this. So that's what this is. It's epic. I know it is. It's epic. Okay. This is a brand new mix of political commentary and some academic skill brush up, performance tracking. It's related to like a game, like a sports game. And we're going to be using this countdown and the scorecard, because those are tools that people are used to working with. And we're going to apply them into politics and into our social issues and into our daily lives, because it really can be a fantastic situation if we can get ourselves better aligned in our performance. Okay, so the thing now, I've kind of been working my way through here. This is a test. This is a theory. I am a school teacher, and I started writing the curriculum. I've put together several different pieces of philosophy, several pieces of academic instruction and things that we work on in classrooms. And I mentioned about being able to help students get into law school, because that is another training situation of being able to apply the law and use it in life, which is what I know how to do. So first up, I want to talk about is the focus to pivot training. Make sure that you're doing that. It's been dropping every day. We got that edited from the live streams that I've been producing. I've been working on this for the past couple of months here in my semi-retirement garden. Like I said, I'd rather be doing just straight arts in the daytime, but this political situation has really just got me fired up again. So this is, back to my notes, coaching session, focus to pivot. Go take those courses. That's the real nitty gritty of what I'm talking about, okay? Because tonight, what we're gonna do here is take your notes and your receipts and you're gonna score them, okay? You're keeping them. You're creating your file folder, which is why I got the file folder, okay? So you're gonna take your notes, you're gonna put them in the folder. Every week we're gonna add to them. You could do it in a notebook, you could do it in a drawing pad. Here's my sketch pad, okay? Lots of different ways you can keep the information, but you're gonna have to keep this together. So that's the first assignment, okay? Second thing, let's get our values aligned. We have to go with respect and truth. I've got it up here as our new code. So let's look up here at the new code, respect and truth. Respect ourselves, be honest with ourselves. That comes first. Because then if you put it out to other people, you will be getting it back and multiplied. So that's the compass. Up here again, I've got all kinds of resources to help people figure out how to make the decision on voting day. You have 18 weeks to figure this out. MAGA voters, GOP, the old-time Republican Party. You guys, that's who I'm talking about, okay? This is getting your values back aligned. And this is the money episode. I want to ask you, is greed okay? Are you greedy? Are you aligned with the corruption, with the mafia, with the gangsters? Because it's a gang, okay? It's a gang. And when I looked at it as a reading teacher, I again kicked into gear and I'm like, wait a minute, we have to do gang exit. So MAGA exit is the gang exit. And state of play upgrades. Yes, I am stealing every single game formula I know. My bag of tricks is very deep. Trust me, I've had lots of students that have tested me, battled it out, and they don't win. I win. I am the master. I am the trainer. I am the one that has all this wisdom, and I'm trying to share it. I want to share it, okay? Share it. So, graphic organizers. Here's where I'm at. This is where let me start turning the camera around, okay? Because the focus to pivot has the basic information. Go get the basics. This is the upgrade. This is the power. This is the pep rally, okay? Graphic organizers. Let me turn this one a little bit sideways and pull it up, and we're going to talk about this some more, okay? In the focus to pivot, we use the graphic organizers to line up our ideas in a vertical chart. So I'm calling this Let's Make a Deal worksheet, because what we do is we're going to line up the issues. These are the same ones that we talked about in the focus to pivot course. I'm going to sit here now. I'm showing you how I'm doing it so you can do your own. Make this worksheet. This is simple. Draw the lines. Draw these lines. This isn't hard. my point of view on the economy. I'm going to write it down here, and then I'm going to go talk to my friends and my neighbors. And we're just going to talk about just one thing at a time. The prices and the jobs. What do you think we should be doing? What would you propose? This is a let's make a deal proposal worksheet. I would propose that people that make money off of their money, they don't have to do anything. The money is making money. I think that should get taxed. I think people that sweat and work their brains out every day, busting for hourly wage, shouldn't have to pay taxes the way that the people do that just make money. Just the money makes the money. Come on, that's not fair. Let's be fair. And if we invest in programs in our communities, things like startup block grants and set up these opportunity zones and use the people in the economy to improve the economy, that's self-sustaining. That's keeping our stuff in our stuff. I think that's a proposal. And so do you think that could work? What would you propose? How about taxes? And how about this opportunity idea? And then go across the street and talk to your neighbor over there and be like, hey, what do you think about this idea? And if we can start talking about, hey, I respect you and I want to be truthful. I want to live together in peace. We have to figure this out. So this is an upgraded chart. This is the showing how to build it out using the social issues. This is the chart that is included in the book. Go get the book on Amazon, $10. EPUB, you could be looking at it right now if you have a Kindle. All right, let's go for more upgradey kind of stuff. Actually, yeah, let me get back to this one while I'm still on the topics. Okay, here's another graphic organizer for you. This is my, the problem. See, what we have to do is we have to be able to separate out our point of view, our experiences, our emotions and background, and our expectations and dreams, our side. But then you've got your side or their side and the MAGA side. And you're kind of standing here in the middle going, wait a minute, what am I going to do? Hold on. So this is my problem. This one I'm going to say, here's my problem. I'm going to define the problem. And here's the activity for you to do. Your point of view, you define the problem. What do you think the problem is? Well, I'm going to say, as I mentioned before in that Focus to Pivot course, I believe the problem is the bully. And that respect and truth have to come first, because the bully, I think, is the problem. And then the gang and the money and all of how that works. So yes, the number one exit strategy for gangs is to have options, which is exactly what I am doing. This right here, I'm giving us options and that we have a time to talk about it. So you're taking notes today. The question is greed and money. Are those your MAGA values of greed and money? Are you okay with that? Or what do you think the problem is? And I'm going to say options because I've been reading feedback and I've been doing my own research, and I agree the options might not be right exactly either. We got to talk about this. And this gets me now to my arsenal of tools. You know, when you decide that you're going to take off that hat, which is the topic we're going to talk about next week, you're going to have some arsenal tools here working with me that are going to help you feel a little more confident about this. And you got 18 weeks or 17 weeks, depending on when you see this, to figure it out. So this levels of thinking, these are my hero thinking steps. And when you get stronger and you get more confident in your reading standard 5, which is cause and effect, and your reading standard 6, which is drawing conclusions and making inferences based on good information and sources, you will have a shield that will be such wisdom around you, it won't come off. And that's something that can never be taken away from you. We're also going to talk about you being the main character of your life. And yes, sometimes you have to put a mask on. Fake it till you make it. This is also tragedy and comedy. Flags, your heritage. Yes. All kinds of flag stuff, all kinds of trophies. And how do you show your gratitude? What are your symbols of strength? What are your pride and crown? Do you have a crown that you wear? I do. I love it. My friend made it for me, and I took it up to the North Pole, or the Arctic Circle. And of course, the wand. You know I love my wand. Where's my wand? You know I love the wand. Where's my wand? Woo-hoo! Yay. All right, guys. I got to bring this back. Time to wrap it up. Uh-oh. Wrapping it up. Where am I? That's funny. Okay. I'm back. Thank you for watching this. Let me get back here to my cheat sheet. Okay. Because watch party. Yeah. Primaries. This is the political commentary part. Back to the primaries. They've already happened in New York and California. Some big decisions are already being made. Colorado is voting today on their primaries, so that's happening. Also, I want you to check out the Supreme Court this week. They had some big decisions today about the slush fund and corruption of money that the president has been taking into his own pockets. And again, the question is money and greed this week. Corruption and greed. This is the 4th of July, our big 250th birthday party. How does all that look out there on the mall? Is that what you wanted? I don't know. I'm here. Let's talk about this. Okay? So this is today's common bond testing. We have been talking about money. We're talking about how to kick it up a notch using these arsenal of tools. And the final points here I'm getting at, my books, there's a lot of them, are on Amazon. Go get it right now. It's $10 on Amazon. I also have websites. The original one here, betrayedbytrump.org. That's the first one that started this channel about a year ago when I published the book, betrayedbytrump.org. I also have the leavingmagaguide.com. That has a lot of information about this politically homeless idea and people that aren't sure where they're going to go and what they're going to do about voting. I also have the Wayfinding which is this broadcasting booth, the idea that we need to have civics classroom and gang exit mixed up into politics and political commentary. So that's me. This is the MAGA exit countdown. Here's my sign. I'm so excited I made it through this first episode, and I'm looking forward to getting more people on board, more sponsors and people that have the ability to really make this a professional, hot diggity kind of a thing. I'm kicking it up a notch, okay? And special, I want to show you, I brought out my mask. I went and was lucky to see one of the master carvers here in Puerto Rico and made this at the kid demonstration. And so you know what? I'm going to put it on right now because you know what? I need to put on my mask. I am brave enough. I am strong enough. And this is the MAGA exit countdown. Woo-hoo! All right. Totally crazy. Something new. Something different. 17 weeks. You're going to be voting in November. I'll see you there. You ready? All right, mask off. That's so funny. I love that. Thank you for joining me. Share, comment, subscribe. Let's kick this up a notch. We got 17 weeks. Let's go. All right, bye. Okay. Bye.